Our vaccines thus far have protection against every variant that has come out since the beginning of this pandemic. But we're always watching to see whether or not these changes, these variants, cause less protection from the vaccines, and we're always on the lookout to make sure that we don't see a breakthrough one. But there is not been any breakthrough variants to this point. Our vaccines are protecting against the strains of the virus that happened 3 months ago and are currently happening even right now. So right now, the best way to protect yourself against this coronavirus is to get the vaccine. The vaccines work.
Tonight, more than 90,000 Americans infected with COVID are being treated in hospitals. That's the highest number since last winter. Nationwide, nearly 70% of ICU beds are filled. It's even worse in the South, where at least 90% of beds are occupied. CBS's Lilia Luciano has more.
The pandemic rages across the U.S. tonight. More than 1,000 people are dying from COVID every day.
Folks, so if you are a fan of this channel, you know that I am not a big fan of plagues. In fact, Zena and I have been pretty fucking vocal about the fact that it looks like COVID's here to stay. That our government and our communities and our insistence that Republicans get to actually make decisions has continually doomed us and brought this upon us in ways that are terrifying. ICUs in, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, and a few other states are fucking filling up. And you have people like the governor of Florida who has apparently stock in one of the treatments for COVID, so he's not allowing mask mandates because that's somehow not illegal. Yeah, Republicans are a death cult, Schneiderman. I agree 100%. Yeah, Schneiderman's right. COVID 2022. Bringing it back. If anyone's going to win the midterms, it's COVID. The fact is that the numbers are getting worse. We all know this. Lil, if you're still in chat or one of the chats, could you give me the link for the thing you normally use? There is a website you use to look at the data. I wanted to bring that up real quick, but I can't seem to find it. So for now, we're going to talk about this. So I don't know why the size of this is so god-awful, but basically, a new coronavirus variant, C12, has been detected in South Africa, and the study about it is awaiting peer review. Now, here is the problem here. The big issue with this circumstance is that when we're talking about... Hold on, I got to bring this one up too. So many things to look at. There we go. When we're looking at stories like this, and this one comes out of, I believe, the Jerusalem Post. I'm not familiar with that source, so bear with me if they're awful. But according to them, a study is yet to be fully peer-reviewed, but it talks about a variant that is much more aggressive and might be able to circumvent vaccines. That's pretty scary shit. Now, let me be 100% clear. This hasn't been peer-reviewed yet. And this is why I love my community, because they call me out on my bullshit. My dear, wonderful mod, Thanagor, points out that according to the WHO, we'll bring that up real quick, these are all the known variants. Right? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. I know that lambda's around here somewhere. But these are the ones that are currently of concern. And the simple fact of the matter is that if we're looking at this clearly, you'll notice that the one we mentioned isn't here. That's not to say that this is lying, but I think it should be treated with skepticism. Our goal here is not to invalidate this particular post, but again, there is a level of scaremongering that is possible here. The idea being that scientists stress the combination of these mutations, specifically more than half, about 52% of the mutations in the spike regions of the C12 sequence, have previously been seen in other VOCs, variants of concern, and variants of interest. The mutations N440K and Y449H, which have been associated with the escape from certain antibodies, have also been noticed in the C12 sequence, and scientists believe this combination of mutations, as well as changes in other parts of the virus, likely might help it evade antibodies and immune responses. Now, if that's true, that's fucking terrifying. But we don't know. And while there has been, according to this article, evidence saying this has appeared in several countries, I believe they mention, what was it? They mention, see, you got some folks in Turkey. What do we got? We have a list. Oh, here, there's South Africa. Where is it? Brain not working. I'm just missing it, apparently. Anywho, if I remember correctly, they mentioned South Africa, part of Britain, and a few other countries of note. And that's not to say that that's not bad. That's absolutely bad. But it is to say, though, that we need to be hesitant about accepting this, but also be aware of the fact that if it does become true, it does become something that is proven, this is not ending. Between conservatives being a death cult, their continued insistence of not in any way, shape, or form being willing to wear masks or do the right thing, and our government's unwillingness to pay stipends to people to stay the fuck home on a monthly basis, is insanity. And because of that, it's giving more time for increased infection, and thus, so let's look at the good old United States. And that's not to say that other countries aren't getting fucked by this. They absolutely are. And we also want to be super clear about the fact that the United States, let me just scoot y'all. There. So, looking at this, if I look at the data, the current projected of reported deaths right now in COVID, this is their current projection, as of for November 20th, 2021, is going to be 730,000 people. Now, as of today, at worst, and again, this is, I hope, taking into consideration the USA Today data stating that there were 75,000 that were not accounted for. I'll hope that it is. But according to this, they're saying that all data points to there being 634,905 deaths total. Now, again, this is going to keep raising because the infection rate, and we can look at this, the infection rate, this is the daily death rate. See how we're getting spikes? Vaccine coverage, always an issue. And let's see, hospital resources. All beds needed. That's not great. Hospital resources use indicates how equipped a location treats COVID-19 patients on a current projection scenario. Select all beds or ICU beds for description of each measure. Okay. And here's the daily infection rate. So as of today, confirmed infections. So as of the 20th, 181,000 people were infected with COVID. We had a jump down, maybe because of a nice weekend, whatever. 80,000 for the 22nd. Now, if we still haven't got to today, they haven't updated that yet because we need to have the confirmations, but you'll notice this is trending back up. We are as bad as we were back in January. COVID is not going anywhere, and we are getting closer and closer to 1 million deaths. Understand this. Conservatives are a death cult. The religious conservatives of their lot believe that rapture is going to happen, where God is going to basically declare Mad Max and they're going to get flightened off to heaven. And this is fine. People can be Christian. That's great. But you have to understand that evangelical Christianity has a part in this. These people do not care about the health of others or the planet, because evangelical conservative Christians believe that God will just give them a new planet. This is by its nature fucked. This is why climate change doesn't matter to these people. God will just give them a new one. It's why they don't give a fuck about this. God will protect them. And for the rest of conservatives, the ones that aren't necessarily, drinking the Jesus juice, or at least not actually doing it and just say they do, most likely what's happening is, and this is the important part, they're most likely doing this for some sort of either defiance, a misunderstanding of what freedoms are, and the way that they're infecting and fucking up the freedoms for everyone else. They're literally fucking up all of our freedoms. But on top of that, because of profit, capitalism in its shit fucking strikes again. Right? Like, capitalism strikes again, and all of a sudden, we're allowing governors to profit from their strike downs of mask mandates. Why is this not an immediate thing that subjects them to removal? The system is fucked, and we need to work on this. We need to change this. But I need you guys to understand this, is that COVID isn't over. I know it's tiring. I know it's exhausting. But we need to keep calling this out. We need to keep wearing masks. We need to keep washing our hands. We need to make sure the loved ones we have who are able to be vaccinated are vaccinated. Children need to be protected. Loved ones who are elderly need to be protected. And if you have a loved one for some reason who can't become vaccinated, make sure everyone around them is, and take all the precautions you can. This is not a debate. This is reality. Here is what my suggestion to our government is. Hopefully, due to the fame and prestige that I have on this platform, they will listen. My suggestion is this. For the next 6 months, everyone deserves a stipend of around $2,000 a month for every adult in the household. That includes adults who are young adults, such as 18 plus, and there should be an additional bonus of at least $500 to $1,000 per dependent. Businesses should be shut down except for those that are needed for absolute essential needs. And these businesses should be given a subsidy to help them make it through. And we do this for the next 6 fucking months. I'll even go one better on you. All the streaming services and internet providers get subsidized by the government. I don't care if it takes off $5, $10, $20, but you make sure every motherfucker has access to their Netflix, their fucking Crunchyroll, and every other goddamn thing. Let me be abundantly clear. This is me being conservative in my estimates. You want to kill this thing? Strike it where it is. Send people home. Essential workers get major boosts in essential pay. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, you can only watch so much Netflix. But this cannot continue. And the fact that we let an entire party in the United States decide for the rest of us that we should be continually struck with this plague that their president did jack shit about, who only pushed for Operation Warp Speed for the vaccine because he absolutely wanted to make sure it was out before the election. Yep, free prescription deliveries. Subsidize that. I don't care how in debt we fucking go. Human life is more important than fucking debt. We're one of the strongest fucking countries on the planet. Who the fuck is gonna try to collect on us? Like, seriously, are they just gonna send some massive repo force here? Like, no, they're not. We have the strongest military on the fucking planet. I'm sorry, but this is a need. This is a thing. I need everyone to understand this. And so when I look at this Jerusalem Post article, I need you to understand this variant may not be an issue. This variant might be just nonsense. But I think it is important that we talk about this still. Not because I'm trying to spread fear, not because I'm wanting any of y'all to get super fucking paranoid, but because I want you to know that one of these days, this kind of article is going to be true. And it's not just going to be in a post that I'm not familiar with. It's going to be on MSNBC. It's going to be in the New York Times. Every single conservative, every dumb motherfucker who decided not to get the vaccine, despite it being FDA approved by, Pfizer being FDA approved now. You need to do something about this. This needs to change. And I'll say this additionally. What Tiamat's talking about in chat is absolutely correct. Full stop. We treat service workers like a surf class. I was in a Costco 2 days ago, some days ago. And one of the things that happened in there, just as a note, just a big deal, is that I was in there and every single fucking worker was in a mask or protected by a shield. And almost 90% of every fucking hick bastard in there was literally just maskless. There were some folks, elderly folks, and a few other people that were conscientious and gave a fuck about human life, but everyone else was just wandering around in large groups, not thinking, not caring. The simple fact of the matter is that way we treat McDonald's workers, retail workers, people who work in grocery stores, the people that are essential for the day-to-day functioning of our society, right up there with people that run our utilities and our internet, are treated like garbage. Even if you are not worried about getting the virus yourself, fucking wear a mask. Even if you're vaccinated, wear a fucking mask. Both for the protection of those around you and in solidarity for the essential workers who have to be there, who I'm pretty sure stopped getting, what was it, the emergency pay like a year ago? Yeah, Spherical Cat, you can tell your cousin to go fuck themselves. From me to them. If they literally just can't care that much, then fuck disown. I don't know. I got nothing. I would disown someone like that if you're that stupid. I had an aunt once say that when we were talking about the COVID-19, they had mentioned coronavirus and made a joke about Corona beer, in which I went block. Via Pam, I'm of two minds against that. I do think faking vaccination cards should be a fucking crime. Like, there's been FBI stories literally saying that there's like thousands of these they've apprehended. Why is this okay? Why are we not declaring, like, I'm not a fan of martial law, but something. What do we do? You have fucking, what is it, Chet Hanks or whatever his stupid ass name is, literally the greatest embarrassment of Tom Hanks, proving that genetics don't mean shit because Tom Hanks is a great actor and apparently his son is a fucking D-bag. Screaming about not getting the fucking shot because he's such a big, strong man. The vaccine is free. Go get it. If you want to be safe, get the Pfizer one. I'm not backing any of these companies. Fuck them. But you know what? Get the vaccine. Still wear a mask. Wash your hands often. Stay out of public if you can. I know the summer's hot. I know we want to go out and do things. I know this summer has been filled with activities, and you can see the results of that. The rates are skyrocketing. Churches are super spreader events. Like, and on top of it, and this is where shit gets me. Because so many people in our country don't have health care or are uneducated and don't understand that the vaccine is free, they don't get it. Or, and there's some possibility of this, that it could be forms of marginalization that are preventing them from getting it. We know for a fact that COVID has hurt trans people, queer people, people of color worse than anyone else, especially African Americans. And sadly for African Americans, they're doubly fucked because of the Tuskegee experiment and a bunch of other stuff that literally have destroyed their trust in fucking medicine. Like, holy shit. Like, 80-year-old racism is still creeping up and preventing us from dealing from this. Like, can you imagine the systemic hell of that? That a whole group of people are so scared that they're going to be lied to. What the fuck? Christian, what were you asking about? I didn't see it. Let me look at the stream chat. I'm going to be really clear here. I've got some spicy takes. Always have. Trans rights and trans thriving. I think we should do more research for plural people, and I think until then, they should be treated with respect. For plural fucking rights. You know what's also spicy? I don't think we should have left Afghanistan, or at very least, I don't think we should have left in this setup. The way we handled this was awful, and what we've done is functionally abuse and hurt women, fucking LGBT people there, and any modernization that would have taken fucking place. For every person that thinks this was a good, don't ever fucking tell me you're a goddamn ally again. Kyle Kalinske can go fuck himself. Every single person who is sitting there clapping like a goddamn seal, like, yay, we left Afghanistan. Be honest about it. You don't give a fuck about those people. You don't. Mike from fucking PA, Kyle Kalinske, and every other dumb fucking leftist who can't shut the fuck up about this stuff. Afghanistan was always a Maloo and always problematic. We have more important things than ending the war there and allowing the Taliban in. We could have been putting all of those resources we're using now to pull out. And by the way, all the lives we're ending because we're allowing the Taliban in. We could be using that to deal with COVID. I get Afghanistan was a Maloo. I get Afghanistan was shit. I get that no one knew what the fuck they were doing about. But I'm going to be really clear about this. We could have done this so many ways. I will die on that fucking hill. And I want you to take that hardcore we needed to leave Afghanistan stance. Because you know what? I think we needed to leave too. But you know what? Not like this. Not like this. You can't tell me that you care about trans rights or gay rights and then leave a country to religious extremists who are, by their very nature, toxic, violent, abusing monsters. And where this all connects back, maybe this spicy take seemed out of nowhere, but it has a point, my dear friends, my loves, my children. The simple fact of the matter is that those same kind of religious conservatives, religious extremists, are in this fucking country. They're here stopping us from dealing with COVID. They're here preventing us from doing regular stimulus packages to stop people from starving or being evicted. This is the richest country on the planet, and we are doing nothing. Can we afford being in Afghanistan? Yes. Shut the fuck up. Or if you're going to leave, do it right. Because I'll be fucking honest. The leaving of Afghanistan was just as bad as the way Trump handled COVID. Full fucking stop. I don't know what Vosh's specific takes are. I haven't watched them via Pam. I know that he's for the leaving, but he's thought it's been handled poorly. That's my basic memory. But here's the thing. I need to take care of my partner. My partner has chronic illness, and we don't really go out and do anything because we're afraid of COVID. Like adults that understand basic science. We're afraid of a country that we're abandoning being taken over by a religious extremists that will torture the people there and enforce their cis heteronormative ways because of their god-awful fucking religious values against anything that isn't specifically this. And I'm not saying against Muslims. Please don't. One of my dear friends is Muslim. I love people who practice it. I fucking was a Sufi for 2 years. Shut the fuck up. What I'm saying is that any kind of religious extremism, it doesn't matter if it's Islam, it doesn't matter if it's Christianity, it doesn't matter if it's Hinduism. Any religious extremism, by its nature, always has the same things. Conservatism, toxicity, and hell. And the same people here that want to move on from fucking COVID and want to pretend it's not happening, that it's not doing anything, are the same people who are telling you that leaving Afghanistan was a net good and that all the things happening over there don't matter because us leaving is the important thing. Don't ever fucking call yourself my ally. Don't. I'm willing to listen to reasonable takes. Like, seriously. Some of Osh's stuff is decent. Demon Mama stuff. Solid. So, we'll end with this note. Christian Vargas says that he put a link in chat. So that is a video, Christian. I can't necessarily watch that at the moment. Let me click on that and see. What is this? So, I'm looking at the comments, and it really does seem like some of the comments are just calling this shit garbage. Topic of the week, a plague of moral convenience. Let me look at this. Fuck me. So, this person is... I'm not going to watch this on stream right now, but essentially, what is their argument, Christian? Is it basically that this does mental health harm? Because if that's the case, I'm going to say I have a strong disagreement and that better to have the mental health harm and then subsidize therapists so that we can work with those people who have been harmed than for those folks to be dead. There's no good answer to this fucking plague. You do what is necessary. But let's be very clear. One of the things this country loves is never doing what's necessary, never doing what's responsible. We didn't do it with Afghanistan, and we're not doing it with COVID. We are doing the bare fucking minimum. In every case. And the problem is with both of these issues is that they are demonstrably harmful to minorities, to LGBT people, etc. So if you tell me to not worry about COVID, or you say that Afghanistan was a good thing, shut the fuck up, my answer is going to be like this. Don't ever call me your fucking ally. Because what you're telling me is you don't give a fuck about people like me at all. Wash your hands, wear a fucking mask, and for the love of fucking God, get vaccinated.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can also ring the bell if you want to be notified of our videos. If you want to help the channel, you can donate at streamlabs.com/transgirltherapist/tip. You also can become a patron at patreon.com/transgirltherapist. As low as $3, you can support our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.